is so obnoxious to play into. We've seen this, what I assume will be another Raging Virtue Karma already. And if aiming gets kills, he will have a great time, and I don't think anyone else on the Rift will.
I think for KT, it's perfect. Just play around aiming again. It worked so well in game 1. Obviously, that was a Yuumi, or a Zeri rather. But Lucian is just as ridiculous in the hands of someone who is really feeling it. We saw Viper just tear the Rift apart with the Lucian Nami. And I have no doubt in my mind that aiming can do just as well. We already saw he played an insane game. Here we are on the Rift for game number 2. T1 versus KT, the Telecom War. Going head to head.
They know this time. Does it matter? Okay, they're fine.
Lion's got some gold, perhaps. Not 100% sure. Same play. Oh, one auto. Yep, he gets it. Good job by Guma.
That's pretty worth. Although aiming also was able to get a ward, so neither bot lane going to have an advantage.
Did go for Moss Stomper, the green pet. As might have to hold that thought, as already Guma has taken a chunk. It's still very early on. Obviously, you'll have sustain from Keria, but they're really trying to get ahead here in this lane as much as possible by being aggressive. But what I was going to say is now both sides have gone for Gus Walker, right?
Yeah.
They've both gone for Blue Pet, so maybe Owner looking to change it up, maybe a little bit more gank-oriented in the mid-game as an exhaust used as Guma and Keria are angry as they even get the Ignite onto aiming and they chunk him out a bit.
Yeah, didn't have the opportunity to talk about this yet, but Guma going for the PTA is a clear sign that you want to play this lane very differently, right?
And this Drake is, again, started very early by Cuz, and it will go unseen for now.
Well,
now
he knows.
No, though.
Yeah, I think Cuz is the piece out. The moment they realize Faker is missing. Will things happen, Veldas? That's the question.
I think they will. Generally, you know, this game is made to have things happen. As a nice little lockdown in the ult from Faker, he's going to have to try to flash away, perhaps, as he's trying to get over towards the Yuumi. Is going to get a nice little heal as now BDD might be the one that has to flash. No, the turnaround as Cuz tries to take out Faker and fails. He's got a tiny little shield, and the heal from Lens is enough, as BDD will pick up the first blood for his team, rather, at the... But it was extremely close, so hard to give him full blame or anything like that. As now on Vision, we are starting the Rift Heralds. Doesn't seem like KT wants to respond to that too much. Looks like they just want to pick up this first Drake and some plates for their bottom lane.
Cool. I was wondering, so there's two possible options for KT here. They can either go for Drake, which just looks like what they're doing, or with Cuz and possibly BDD was also hovering towards the bot side. I was wondering if they would want to go for a bot lane dive, knowing that Yuumi and Keria probably rotate as soon as they see aiming and Lehens showing lane. That's not going to be the case, at least not for now. Just going to get the plates and not going to take the risk. There was also Vision. If there wasn't Vision in the Dragon Pit, I think they might have actually gone for it, but it's also teleport available for Zeus. And KT maybe not want to run the risk of getting counter-engaged upon.
Getting Cassanta'd.
Getting
That never
Cassanta'd.
feels good.
No,
like, where did my...
Yeah, well, the veggies.
As long as it's got some chicken in it, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, it's chicken soup, so that's kind of the point.
Not all chicken soup has chicken. Owner is going to get ganked here. He might just be dead. He's not even able to get to the wall or do anything, as Cuz just a little bit too fast for him. So that's the second kill on the board here for KT, as this is actually a nice amount of damage done onto aiming. Not quite able to get that final chapter to get the root in. He still had Cleanse and Flash and Steal from the Nami anyway. As now On the Hunt is coming out. He said, well, if Cuz was here, he would have come in already. As Exhaust going to be used, and the trade is getting in there. Low is aiming, and he gets taken out. And Guma and Keria will pick up the double kill as they exert their dominance and assert it over this bottom lane.
Okay, now time to die. We gotta get out of there. I think Guma might not be able to. Oh!
Wow, double execute. And Cuz was not able to get there on time. Was busy.
But he's not as, we're fighting Valdez.
Yeah, this wave is going to get some decent value, at least delay, but is it enough as the Gnar will hit a couple as in goes Zeus, and is trying to get this ult down onto Cuz. They don't quite have the damage though to T1. Again, still very early before Sivir's doing much, and Orianna has one item. So Still waiting for them to do something, and T1 not really able to challenge there on that second Rift Herald.
Yeah, Orianna is not doing a lot, but everyone else is on T1, so that part's great.
Can you tell that I'm a salty Orianna main?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I think it's good that you share that with the world.
Trying not to be too obvious, but
it's okay. One day she'll be like truly good again. I do think that. Oh no.
Yeah, aiming's like, yeah, cool story, bro. And then they were able to get the kill, and as you see, get double executed. So ended up being a really nice kind of game sense play from the bottom lane of T1, something we've come to expect at this point from these guys. As Owner's alone in the jungle. While I say that, he's got a cat on the back. As in KT Go once again challenges red buff, cuz might have to be the sacrificial lamb as a nice ult comes in from Faker to make sure that they can secure that kill.
Support Orianna doing a wonderful job there. Nicely done. Prolonging the CC chain.
Good CC.
As KT looking for a play that got them a big angle earlier on, killing Owner, but not going to be the case this time around. And yeah, especially with how many mid-game kills we've seen on Lucian, I think it's also easy to overestimate your damage when you don't have calling and first strike proc, right? Like those two really, I think, push it over the top where you can get in for an early calling and then 100-0 someone, but Guma and Carry are really playing according to the limits of the champions. As this, unfortunately, Owner holding on to his Q, or unfortunately for KT, rather I should say, and then really straightforward, right? Able to get the CC chain. Rest of the team is there. Lahenzen aiming, just want to get out of the situation. It's clear that the response from Fushi just being level 11, sitting on 2 items.
Faker hit it! First ever assist for the LCK. Congratulations, he has passed Gorilla. Well, I suppose he's about to, as he has tied it for now. As here we go, we got a team fight. In goes Cuz, but hesitates a bit, backs away before going in with the Cyclone. A huge Faker ultimate gets 2, but immediately the turnaround comes in from KT. Is aiming, is getting dove on the backside by Owner here on the right side of this fight. They're not quite able to get this Lucian, and aiming will take him down, but take a look at the top side. Guma also kiting it out very well, trying to take down Keen, and Faker is just barely able to get in there, aiming a little bit too low to actually continue on the fight. As aiming, you gotta get out of there, buddy. That's Cassante. BDD is all alone. He is gonna flash and actually take out Faker with the Dunkarino. The Montague will pick up the kill. Does he have to pay for it with his life, though, as overcomes Keen? And the Mantra W is enough as Guma, he's got a cat on his back, and they will have to back away from that one.
The first half of the fight was beautifully done, and I'm shocked that Owner lived as long as he did. The second half, mostly very funny, as a lot of people living, not a lot of people dying. Zeus drawing a ton of attention here, drawing a lot of cooldowns, and it looks like they're opting into a disengage, right? But Faker, even though he is spotted, the ball is lost for a second there, and that prompts everyone to go in. Keen hits Mega just at the right time, which means that Guma, the biggest damage source, is actually really trying desperately to take down that Maganar, as Faker is battling 3 people by himself, and BDD's health bar is...
it's so healthy.
He's having such a great time, right?
Oh, man.
This is peak BDD, right? Like, gets out with his life. Multi-Orianna player, but
okay, I mean, they should have expected this, but maybe they're just waiting for it, as in goes Cuz way too deep alone. He's got that second Cyclone, and all the TP's coming in. T1 are like, yeah, cool story. Now your jungle is gone, and we're going to go for a T1 Baron.
As you were saying, you should be ready for that. They were. T1 very clearly had their fingers on the trigger, ready to go and punish KT when they try and look for such a play, although Faker...
He should be okay, though. He is able to get away. He's got a Yuumi on his back, as this Baron is getting to about half health at this point in time.
Aiming's alive.
Aiming is alive, as Ingo saves, trying to 100-0 the Keen, and he will go down, so no Gnar is going to come in, and saves just a monstrous tank at this point in time. And I think that is enough to push away KT. Lahenz is just dead. He's alone, as the Baron will be taken by T1.
Why are we still zoomed in? Is it not over? Okay. I'm like, is he going to kill more people? What's happening, Jonas Strong? BDD? What? Oh.
Okay, he might be able to get on Faker here. Faker pretty fast, though, with the W, and he will get away as fast as it did in that last fight. I mean, they were down a jungler, so they didn't quite have the engage. KT we're talking about here.
Yeah.
But still, even through all of that, the Mega Gnar just, well, not quite Mega Gnar, but the Gnar getting punished that quickly is very scary. So the top lane didn't matter until it absolutely did. They just kind of made it matter. And now T1 with the Baron, looking to push as far as they possibly can. 20 seconds still left on the buff. They're looking to make this happen. Take a look at that Orianna ball as well, just chilling there right beside the turret. Looking for an opportunity is Faker. Potentially open this up. But they have lost the Baron buff, so they'll just back away for now. And as you mentioned, I mean, the Sivir's only going to get even stronger. And yeah, they're feeling pretty good into these tanks.
Okay.
Who also does have it. As the splish is coming in, they're just trying to naturally chip away at this, even without the Baron buff. T1, you know they're staring at that timer. As Amy takes a massive chunk and Faker finishes it off. And now your 80 carry's gone. So all of a sudden, you're missing a lot of damage with not a real mid laner.
Faker's TP is clearly baiting someone to walk up to him. BDD says, okay, I'll take that bet.
As, okay, I mean, it's Sivir. So
Yeah, even bought a pop. So they know, like, this is probably win the fight decisively here.
yeah.
And that's going to be the end of the game.
Zeus is just running at them. He is unkillable. Nobody can kill him, especially with aiming not here, so Lehens might just die. As he tries to flash away, he does not have Tidal Wave, so he just dies. Faker gonna take him out, a very messy one, as in they go. Onto aiming the flank from Zeus, and T1 want to take this game right now. They do not want any other objectives to be part of this one. As they will take down Cuz, and finally the Gnar comes in, but way too little, way too late. The Cassante, again, is pretty much untouched. Just gonna TP into mid lane, and that'll do it for game number 2. T1 will tie it up.
And that game was closed until it wasn't. Valdez. Overall, T1 looking revitalized here in the second game. Really good individual performances. Zeus and Gumayushi to be most notably. Both of them really popping off. But while all of that happened, Faker's also sitting on a 5-1 and 7 scoreline. And maybe there's a little bit of hope for an Orianna main after. Just be Faker. You know, just be the best player of all time. No biggie.
Played it really well.
Can make it work.
Worked out for them, and that is going to be that. The Nexus goes down. We are tied at 1-1, and we have a series on our hands. And, man, very nicely played by the side of T1. I feel like KT were not able to sufficiently use any of their spikes very well, and